So I'm going to talk about a man I met a little over a year ago. I talked about him in my confirmation speech, and actually after the confirmation speech, I met with him one more time so I could learn even more about his story. Because when I first met him, it was a little bit brief, and he told me something that kind of rocked my mind world about, life and religion. And this is how I met him. I opened the cab door I had ordered. Inside, there were a few decorations, but there was a masking odor that could only be obtained by humans sitting in a cab all day. It was 7:30 at night, and I wanted to be at my friend's apartment by 8 o'clock. I gave the driver the street address and asked if he thought we would be able to make it on time, and he said, God willing. He said, pointing his finger up to the ceiling of the cab. I chuckled and I responded, how do you know God is real? A quick note about me. I live in Los Angeles, California, therefore, traveling from one place to another requires a car. When a parent or friend doesn't have the time to pick me up for my designation, I simply call the taxi service. With each call, I receive a new driver, each one with a different background, and each one with a different story. Just to hear something interesting, I might ask a question like, how has your day been? Or, how long have you been working today? Then later I might ask, what's the craziest thing that happened to you while you were driving someone? Or, where are you from? The tales of the taxi are always engaging and riveting. One could go on and on about the countless adventures revealed to me on the streets of Los Angeles. After I asked my driver, Lenny, about the existence of God, he said in an even more exuberant voice, because I've been through hell and back, and I know that God was with me. Lenny went on to tell me a saga of triumph, determination, and survival. He was originally from Iraq, but escaped in the 1970s due to the revolution. Beforehand, as a young man, he attended the University of Chicago to earn his PhD in sociology. The purpose for his education was to return to his home country and teach his students in order to support the oncoming revolution. However, in the midst of the rebellion, the new government turned corrupt. Lenny then began to teach against the government in his classes. A student who had sided with the new government ended up ratting him out, causing Lenny to face the decision of either fleeing to the country of freedom or losing his life. Lenny said, I knew that God had not left me because I knew that God had left the government. They no longer had a conscience. They thought God was on their side, but they lied because they feared the hollowness of God's absence from their bodies. When one does a kind deed, they feel bliss. When one does a rotten, dishonest, or corrupt deed, they feel dirty, is what he said. One is God's gift, and the other is God's curse. I follow the path of bliss, and my gift is life and freedom and happiness. Lenny, a Muslim, taught me something that I can follow. A rush of hormones will tell me what to do. Listening to my emotions will get me to where I need to go. In the back of the taxi, I found something I could believe in. Thank you, Lenny.
You got a book?